Oh, hey, you ready? Let's go. Morning, Miss Lindsay. You got my morning coffee? Thank you very much. Whoa, that is good. Morning, ladies. Good morning, Mr. Moldovan. Are we still on for Tuesday?
Absolutely.
All right,
hey,
great.
Lennon,
Yeah.
Are you related to John Lennon?
Not today, Mr. Moldovan. Not today. Mr. Moldovan.
Be right back.
It's too late.
That's better.
Say goodbye, my friend. Well, it's too late. And you know. What they say must do what they're told. Now it's too late.
And that's why I love this show so much. I'm Lennon Sakella. This is the show.
Now the music has died off to the shadows. Oh, but the music has been sent to the gallows. And when the doctor like the hell of
Huh, this is different. You guys like candy? All right. So sweet. Up first, we went inside Alice Training. Check it out.
Within the past year, schools across the nation have abandoned their district's long-standing lockdown policies, opting in for the new Alice policy.
Columbine was recognized. Like law enforcement, we changed tactics after Columbine. Other shootings occurred. We constantly change our tactics. Every situation we come across, we learn something new, a better way to respond. Unfortunately, the more active shooter incidents that occur, the more data, the more knowledge we gain from those experiences, and the tactics that we've learned, what has worked in active shooter situations in the past, is applied in Alice.
Canfield Assistant Chief of Police Scott Weimer, who directed the Alice training exercise at Canfield High School, described Alice as alert, lockdown, and barricade, inform countermeasures, and evacuate.
Evacuate, that should be the one you think of first, because it's really the one we want to do, depending on what our alert is. Maybe the alert is a gunshot in the hallway. Well then evacuation is not an option, so we have to then do lockdown, barricade, and then we're going to prepare countermeasures, right? Barricade is fair game. Move cabinets, stack desks, chairs, whatever. You know, these doors open out, so the door's probably going to get opened at some point. Your barricade needs to be strong, okay? And maybe some bullets start coming in around the barricade, but your goal is to keep me out.
Lockdown from its inception was never intended for schools. Lockdown actually came from the prison system, and somebody somewhere along the line said we can apply lockdown to schools.
Though it may look chaotic, the training by faculty members illustrates Alice in action as the school population neutralizes the threat, as police are mobilized.
I'm not going to sit here and say you only have to survive for 90 seconds, and then we're going to take care of business. You know what? Who knows what the situation is going to bring? But I can promise you our response time's quicker than most, and we're coming, and we're prepared.
The way we're going to do it with students is that we're going to have an assembly. We're going to alter a schedule one day, most likely. This isn't set in stone. We believe we're going to take a day, bring the student body down to the auditorium. As far as drills or what we're going to do after the students are initially trained, if you will, bring them down and give them the presentation. Drills are there's debate on the administration how they're going to handle that, because you have to balance, don't want injuries, but they're looking towards some different things in the future, some different activities or drills, if you will, with the students.
Well, I'm glad that we are being prepared to do things in case of an emergency. We are definitely much more proactive now, and I think it will be much more beneficial for us to do it in this method instead of the lockdown method.
All you need is the knowledge to put this stuff to use. So let's be realistic about it. Traditional lockdown, all 30 of you would have died. I got you. Alice, lockdown barricade, how many died? 0.
On November 18th and 19th, the girls' golf and tennis team competed at state. We tracked their journey before, during, and after. Check it out.
Both the Canfield girls tennis and golf teams recently competed at the state competitions in Columbus, Ohio. The tennis participants included freshman Hannah Sanciola and sophomore Ashley Khalil. In golf, the participants included Christina Cooper, Casey Carpenter, Kara Loomis, Olivia DiMartino, Michelle Whiteleather, and Gina Saramelli.
We have to play sectionals, and then they take the top 4, and then we go to districts, and they take the top 6 to state.
It was a lot of hard work with practice. We practiced every day for like almost 2 hours. We went to sectionals, did well at sectionals, districts, did well at districts. Our only rough patch was Hoover, but that's okay because we're still going to state.
Exciting to be there and like see warming up. It was just fun. And then we got to see everyone, how good they were, and just like who we were up against.
They were all very like intimidating and kind of mean, so we just kind of did the same back. I expected the first match to be a lot harder, and then when we went to our second match, yeah, that met the expectations.
Yeah.
We played the girls that won it all, and they were unbelievable.
Yeah, they were really good.
Then my freshman year, we went down to state just to watch, and it like really like inspired me to be like, I wanted to be one of the girls going to state instead of just being there to watch.
And we missed state last year by 1 stroke, so that's something that really has been an unspoken motivator between all of us, that we don't exactly talk about it as much, but it's just kind of been there as kind of a weight on all of our shoulders, I think.
I think it's like more of like a rivalry, because like we all push each other to be good, but like to yourself you want to be good, but I think that's what helps everyone like keep going, and we're all there for each other. When someone has a good round and like you don't, you're still happy for the person that has a good round.
Horror writer H.P. Lovecraft says that the oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear. We wanted to see what you, Canfield High School students, were most afraid of.
Lennon, what are you doing at my desk?
Oh.
Get out of here. Forget about it. Let's go.
Sorry. Well, I think I know what I'm most afraid of.
Alright, so when I was little, my parents went and stayed in this place in Pennsylvania, and they said they could like feel like a presence in the 2 rooms next to them, and during the night they couldn't sleep, and they heard moaning, groaning, and they could hear like things moving around, and there was nobody else that was inside of the place that they were staying, like the hotel. And it ended up at the end of their thing, they went and asked questions about it, and it ended up being an old abandoned military base from like one of the world wars, and when they didn't have any good medicine. So many people had died in there and been buried around it because they didn't have a cemetery to bury them in. So there literally could have been spirits in and around this building.
When I was in high school, I went to Zombieland with a bunch of my friends, which is in Hillsville, right outside of Poland. We piled 8 people into a car and drove out there extremely late at night, and were driving around the center of the town. Everyone was convinced that they heard noises and spooky sounds, but there wasn't really anything there to see until we drove back around to leave, and one of my friends was convinced that she saw a train on the train tracks, even though the trains hadn't worked for years.
Wouldn't it be chilly with no skin on? Have you seen the ghost of
What just happened?
Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore. Tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aden it shall clasp a sainted maiden who the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden who the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Wouldn't it be chilly with no skin on?
I was directing Blythe's Spirit, which is a show about a ghost, 2 ghosts actually. And everything went fine for the entire run of the show. The last night of the production, partway through the first act, we lost all of our theater lights. Just out. So the only light we had was the work light. So we were doing the show under the work light. No other electricity up here. There was a point in the show where the curtains needed to blow into the room. The fan was not working. But at the time that the curtains were supposed to blow into the room, they did. I know my tech director and one of our lighting people came up here. They were standing, I think Tommy O'Donnell was here too. They were standing on this side of the stage. They looked across and they saw someone walk across the stage over there.
5 of us came in the back door, and we walked out on stage. It was dark, but we saw a person walk across the other side of the stage. And we thought, well, who could that be? So there's like 5 ways across the stage, so we each took one, walked across, in the lights, and there was nobody there. We looked for like 10 minutes. Everybody looked everywhere.
And no one was there. There are no explanations for any of the things that I've heard about. I mean, I can't explain why those curtains flew across the stage when they were supposed to, when we had no electricity to do it. The door wasn't open, it wasn't a breeze coming in from outside. But there are a number of spirits here, I am told, by those paranormals who've been in. And we've been told that they're very protective of the playhouse and the people that work here. The story that I know about what happened here, one of the women who runs lights and sound for us on occasion was here in the building at night by herself. She was sitting at one of the panels and she heard a voice say, "Mama." She kind of looked around. She called out, asked if somebody was there, no response. And so she went back to doing what she was doing. And she then felt like someone breathing on her neck, and again the words, "Mama." I am told by the people who were here that there is a spirit that resides in this room, and that we should probably just shut the door and let that person be there, because he sees that as his property and his space, and there you go. I do believe it. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the people that have talked about it are not people that tend to be, storytellers and make things up. So, I mean, people have, the event that happened up in the sound room, the light booth, she wouldn't be in the building alone again.
But the sounds, there are sounds here. I've stayed all night a couple times working, and the sounds are really scary because you just be here, and there's a concrete floor right there. You can see the bottom of it, and you hear plunk. You know, not. I mean, it's moving. It's not like a furnace making noise. You hear footsteps. You hear door slams. We have guesses, and not that anybody like died here or anything, even though that's happened once. But
we do. It's happened twice. We got on the pit.
Yeah, the lady in the heart attack up in the audience. And the stage manager actually said, I always wanted to do this, but now that I'm doing it, I wish I wasn't. But is there a doctor in the house? Yeah, she died just right outside. So many people, their heart, and it's where they want to be, their heart is invested in this place, and I just think they come back to visit and check up on it.
I don't think any of us have felt in any way threatened by any of the spirits that are here. I certainly am not afraid to be in the building alone. I have never felt that anything here was demonic or harmful in any way to me. So, yeah, I don't think any of us really are uncomfortable with sharing the space. You know, you think to yourself, if I ever saw a ghost, that would freak me out. And I look back there, I turn around, I look back there, and I said, I just saw a ghost. But it was like, I just saw one of the Playhouse ghosts. I guess there, you know, it really did not unnerve me. It was well, there was no threat to it. Yeah. It was simply a hi, how are you kind of thing, and you know, I think he was just saying hi.
Oh, hey! Well, until next time, I'm Alan Sakella. This is the show.